Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of Botanic Adventures. So, let's see, what are we up to today? I just want to do some Botania stuff, actually, because I want to have a few of the other special items before I go off to my own base, and thus can build some larger things. But let's see. Last time we built the Enderman spawner. Since the Enderman spawner, I've also added an XP tank here. Nothing very fancy, just press the button above and we get an XP drain, which will drain away my levels. And thus I can get them back here whenever. And should I die, well, nothing lost. So, that's that. You may have heard in the background this guy. Yeah. And his horrible trade. What I really have him there for is Botania has mob shedding, chickens leave feathers, well, villagers drop pocket change. So that's where I've been getting my emeralds from. And you may have seen a couple of emerald upgrades around to help our storage along. Also, I think I hid most of the regular torches in here. Switching out to a few of the chandeliers, which have better mob protection, although not as good as the later item, the magnum torch. And the rest is just hidden behind some carpenter's blocks you might find, like this one. Not carpenter's blocks, micro blocks. But means a little less torch spam, even if we're still not decorated in here. But again, this is just a starter area. I intend to move elsewhere. Switch this to just a fence gate and the obsidian plates there. Those don't let mobs walk on it, so a baby could still sneak through, but otherwise, if a mob did get into our perimeter here, they would not be able to enter the building. And I switched it from a regular door because the door, we kept getting stuck in the door, like half in a block, and I got tired of digging myself out of that. Okay. So, on to Botania. Here we go. I've had multiple problems with this thing. So I've changed it up just a little bit. The bottom here is basically the same. That's still the reset button if it gets jammed or if we run out of charcoal in this case. But I've changed it so the torch tower now goes directly up into this block, and there's just a spot of redstone dust there to power this block, which will power the dropper. This lets this be a smooth surface. I could put some mana glass here now. Whoops. Stole that one. And that would work. A little nicer maybe, but I'm being lazy. We will make a more elaborate setup in the future. I've also put a mana spreader here, which actually just takes it directly from this mana pool and pushes it into another mana pool. So we have almost 2 mana pools worth of stored mana here, plus I have a few tablets I've been filling up. That's the mana tablets from the book. Yeah, these mana tablets. And basically, if I make these, and it does cost me the diamond, so I think I can use pearls now, you can put it in here and it'll store half a pool's worth of mana. So I have a few of those saved away. That's good for if I need mana elsewhere, say when I start the new base. Okay. So all of that aside, let's finish the ramble for now. Yeah, so I want a few items. So the first thing I need is a way of having mana on my person, which is in here, which is the band of mana, I think. What's the band of aura? Ah, it's a deviation of the amount of mana. That makes sense then. Okay, so we need basically a mana tablet ring, is what they're saying here. So I'm going to have to make a mana tablet and then make a ring around it. And the mana tablet, as you saw, was a mana diamond or pearl with a living rock around it. So let me get going on that and be right back. Nothing like a silk touch hammer to quickly get all your smooth stone needs. And some lapis, that's good. Okay, well, now we can just make a bunch of mana pearls, I think. There we go. And I have some living rock, so all I need is to craft this thing. So if we look at our recipe again, book. Living rock around the pearl is the mana tablet. On the pearl, there we go. And then I need to make the ring. Oops, wrong book. Okay, so we go back. The ring is simply the mana steel and that. So we do need the mana steel. And I don't want to actually convert a stack, but we'll convert half a stack. There we go. And let's see. So we have a ring. And we have the mana tablet. There we go. Band of mana. And that goes in your bauble slot here, I think. Yep. But since it has no mana in it yet, the first thing we're actually going to do is toss it in the pool. Then the wrong mode. Where's my wand? Okay, and with the Wand of the Forest, we can see it's in the wrong mode. There we go. Now it's in the right mode. It's send to the mana tablet. Put it in again. There we go. And you see the particles of it filling. And the animation of it emptying. Yep, so there we go. Now my ring should be full. Put it back in our bauble slot, and you'll see down, well, you should see eventually down here a little blue bar indicating how full it is. I think it'll happen as soon as a little is used, because it's filled right now. It's not displaying. Okay. So now we can make something that actually uses the mana, since otherwise it seems silly to have just made that. What I really want is the mystical items. And we have a few things here. As you see, part of it is we can make all the armors. And I do sort of want to do that because it will repair itself with the mana I just made. And instead of that, you know, I mean, not the sword necessarily, because the Tinker Sword has auto repair on it. But it is worth it for most of the rest you see here. And then I can get better enchants on it. So let's actually convert the rest of this, because I'll need it eventually. And we can make a suit of armor. So if I remove this stuff and put this on, we will see the new suit of armor. That looked odd with the back of the head. Not sure what's up there. And interesting thing. Okay. We can see what enchants we get on this. So there we go. Full set of armor. We have protection, fire protection. We have protection 3, unbreaking, or fire protection, and protection 4, unbreaking 3. Now the unbreaking here should just mean I use less mana to keep it repaired. So the protections are more important. Hopefully we'll collect some better ones, but as you saw, it was just iron armor tossed into the mana pool, so it's not so expensive to replace. Okay, what's next in our list here? The Heart of the Wild actually gets the flowers. You can just hold it and it will collect them for you, and tall glass and such. I think I have the list of some stuff I really want. So, rod the lands to make dirt, plentiful mantle to find ores, rod of the seas to create water. Rod of the shifting clust is an exchanger, meaning you can change one block to another. Rod of the skies will let me fly temporarily up into the sky. It's not the real flight of the mod, but it's certainly worth it for now. And I'm missing one. Rod of the Depths, which creates cobblestone. So those are the ones I want to work on. And hopefully it won't take too long, but before we have to make these runes. Runes requires a runic altar and various recipes. The recipes shouldn't be that bad, but we do need the runic altar first. So, runic altar, if I click shift there, is just the pearl and some living rock. You can see why having the pearls is good, because otherwise you have to mine the diamonds. And while there are worse things, that's easier. So what I need here is I'm actually going to put it on this side of the tree here. And we need to point another mana spreader at it, which is simply some living wood, petal, and some gold. Okay, so living wood, petal, gold, there we go, mana spreader. And basically, if I put a mana spreader right next to a mana pool, like so, we automatically get, there we go, mana from the pool next to it, even though these flowers are still pointing to the mana spreader up here. So this one's just filling the pool, and then these can take at need to fill their respective devices. So this one's trying to get filled back up. That's what we see going on there. And this is not in use yet, but should be shortly. Otherwise, you bind as usual, shift right click, and then click your target. After the runic altar, now we want to apparently, what was this for? This is Rod of the Depths, so this is the cobblestone generator. And it requires a rune of fire and a rune of water. So the rune of fire, shift right click, is a mana steel, nether brick, gunpowder, nether wart, and mana powder. Now mana powder is possibly a few things. One is it could be redstone, as I did in an earlier episode. The other possibility is if you have one of these, mortar and pestle, we can use that to grind up a flower, and that acts like any type of dye usually, but you can also then toss that into the mana pool and get back the mana powder. So either redstone, I think glowstone, but don't quote me on that, and any of the flower powders will become mana powder. Okay, so nether wart, gunpowder, nether brick, mana steel, and mana powder. So nether wart, gunpowder, mana steel. Nether wart, gunpowder, mana steel. And we just right click it on here. Go, and you can see them floating there. Nether brick. What was the other one? Gunpowder, nether brick, mana steel, and a mana powder. It's the mana powder. There we go. And we hear a sound, which means a recipe is in there. It is generating as we speak. You can see it there next to the recipe. And now with that, all I need to do is take some living rock and put that on. Wait. Oh, and click with my watch. There we go. And that gives me my runes of fire. Okay, cool. Now onto the living rock in a tree. My favorite. Back here, you. Now onto the rune of water, I believe it is, because this is a cobble gen, so we need fire and water. And that's the mana powder, the fishing rod, sugarcane, bone meal. Okay, let me go collect. The fishing rod is the hard one. Maybe we have one here. So I put down a couple of these fish traps, which basically is an auto fisher of types. So we have an infinity bow, some fish of various types. But no fishing rods today. Okay, so let me go play fetch. Okay, so we needed the mana powder. Whoops, back to me. There we go, and yes, glowstone does work. We needed a fishing rod. There we go. The rest I think I have. So we know the mana steel powder is in the recipe. We know the fishing rod's in the recipe. We know an ingot is, well, a mana steel ingot. A sugarcane. What am I missing? Gunpowder. Oh, not gunpowder. Bone meal. Okay, so it now has to run, and you can see it's almost complete. This is running nice and fast because we have a nice stock of mana. It slows down when you're trying to get it directly from the flowers. Okay, and we click that on, and we click it with the wand. And there's my rune of water. Cool. So we're going to take a rune of water. Wait, take my saw back. Take a rune of water and rune of fire. We needed a single piece of cobblestone, I believe. And we needed a couple of living wood twigs. So the cobblestone we can get from our store here. Oops, I need to be in the crafting grid. And the living wood twigs should just be that. And I did something wrong. Let me guess, they're backwards. Bingo. So we have Rod of the Depths. There we go. Now, what Rod of the Depths does is it does not magically clean up my inventory, but if I come out here, I can right-click on the ground, and there be cobblestone. No need to carry anything around. I've already been mostly using a dev null to stop me from collecting stuff while mining. But now I won't have to go as crazy getting it back out of the dev null. Okay, so that's Rod of the Depths. Useful for building large platforms in places with no ground or large pillars, all such stuff. Next up, Rod the Lance. I do want one of those. So let's move on. It's just dirt, living wood, and rune of earth. Rune of earth is another recipe. I'm going to need a mushroom, coal, stone, mana steel, and mana powder. So that should only take a second. We have black coal. We have a mana steel ingot. We have mushroom. We have mana powder. There we go, mana powder. And what else? I'm missing something. Book, which will tell me what I'm missing. Coal, smooth stone. And again, off it goes. We just need to wait a second. How's our mana supply doing here? Very low. Can always point this pool at it if need be, though, so that's not too bad, and that is full. Okay, so with that done, we put that in, and we click with the wand. And there's our runes. Okay, so this one was simple. It was a rune of earth. It was a mana steel twig, and I think it was just a piece of good old dirt. We get Rod of the Lands. And very much like the Rod of the Seas, it just makes dirt. So now, filling creeper holes should be significantly easier. Just remember to dig it up with your shovel, or you'll get some of the slime guys back at you. Okay, Rod of the Lands, Rod of the Seas. Some runes. I think this one's mostly empty. Runes. Okay. Now, what do we need next? Lands, Rod of the Seas. I did want the Plentiful Mantle if we can afford it. And it looked like just a mana diamond and a bunch of twigs. So let's dig up these twigs over here. By twigs, I mean the living wood. Okay, and I needed the diamond. This one actually needs to be a diamond. Okay. So we have some diamonds. No big deal. Particularly if it helps me find more diamonds. Into the pool with you. And we just need to craft some of these. So let's go see how this works. Oh, cool. Very much like Fortress Craft Evolved. And it's not using that much mana. You can see I have gone down a little bit on the lower right there. So if I come down here, because now we're getting to diamond level. And if you ever wanted to know where the lava from the smeltery came from, it is this hole in the ground now. So it says there's stuff down there, like right under us. And it can't be that far. Ah, so we have some redstone here, as it advertised. Neat. I'm gonna have to fill this back in now, because I'm stuck, but cool. Glad I made it. Okay, and back up to the surface now. What else did we want? Well, I just did Rod of the Seas. No, we didn't do Rod of the Seas. What's Rod of the Seas? Oh, that's the water one. Okay, yeah, we want that one. So one of the water bottles I collected in a rune of water. And did we make that rune already? I think we did. Maybe we did, but if we did... Ah, there's one. Ah, good. Have the rune of water. And I need the water bottle. It's easy. Right in here. And a simple crafting grid. And we take... Is it that? Yep, that is all it is. So the easiest thing you can do with this is just refill the Petal Apothecary. It's already filled, so I can't quite do that, but that's okay. We can empty it. So if I right-click on here, it just refills. No need to play with the buckets. And if I right-click on the ground somewhere, say in here, we can make water source blocks. So all very nice. So simple tool, infinite water source at your hand, in your hand I should say. Have the infinite cobble source, an infinite dirt source, and a searching tool to ping out your mine, your veins of ores. And all running off this mana we're collecting over there. So what's next? Next is Rod of the Shifting Crust, which is a rune of sloth. Ooh, this is one of the more complex ones. It's 2 diamonds, a rune of air. We're going to need a couple of those anyway, because I know the next recipe has it. And a rune of autumn, which is some leaves, spider eye, a rune of fire, and a rune of air. So we may need a few runes of air. I have a rune of fire already. So let's get going on that. And let's check this recipe once more. So, mana steel ingot, which I put away in the other pouch, apparently. Mana steel ingot, mana powder. Mana powder, mana steel ingot. Shift, right click, empty hand to get your item back, by the way. Mana steel ingot. A carpet, a feather. And a string. Wasn't that it? Yep, that was it. And I'm just going to make a second recipe of that, and I think if we just right-click with an empty hand, it puts the last recipe back. That only lasts for a little bit of time after you do a recipe, but it does help you with the mass crafting. So a rune of fire goes in here next. What else? Need to stop. A rune of air. Some leaves, any type, or just oak? It's like just oak. And a spider eye. I'm going to need some oak leaves, which is going to be in my tool bag. Well, the leaves won't be in my tool bag, but the shears will. If they didn't get destroyed. Okay, so obviously I'm out of a pair of shears. Let's make a new one. And we have a little oak tree right here, which now has no leaves. Oh, and now since I have mana on me, I can use the shears without durability too. 1, 2, 3. And we needed something else, probably just the powder, but let me check. No, spider eye. And off it goes. We do that. And we get a bunch of runes. We actually got our other runes back. I didn't realize that. That's cool. Okay. That was a new change. You didn't used to get them back. Rune of air, rune of autumn, and 2 mana diamonds. And there we go. Get our things back. And now we can craft with the rune of sloth. And 2 smooth stone. There we go. Rod of shifting crust. And with the rod of shifting crust, what we can do is, say we want to, oh, I don't know, change more of the floor in here to marble. We can put down a marble. That's obviously one of my lights. We can shift right click with the rod there, and then I can pick where I want it to go. So if I left click, it just replaces one block. Okay? And if I shift right, if I right click, it's going to do all of what you see there. I'm a little hesitant to do it in this particular case because it's getting a lot of the surrounding, well, you see it. Okay, now done playing with the rod of the shifting crust for the moment. But you can see how that's good if you want it to replace, walls and floors and other stuff in a building. After that, our next one is Rod of the Skies. And simple enough, rune of air, twig, feather. I assume I do not have the feather. There we go, Rod of the Skies. Okay, that'll do. As you see, it lets us go up quickly. I think it gives us fall protect, so we don't go kersplat from using it. It takes a little bit of time to recharge, as you might have saw in the tooltip. But I can certainly use it to quickly go up as far as let me, and then glide back down while it recharges. So that, I think, is most of the toys for right now. There is many other things from the mod I want to get into. We will need, for some of what I want, I think the Elven Portal and Terror Steel for some stuff. So we will need to do a little bit of work. Oh, I did want to look at the assembly halo. It's sort of like the thing in my inventory right now, but we might be able to use a little easier, and it's a simple enough recipe anyway. So one of those mana pearls, some mana steel, and a crafting table. So if we make that crafting table, we get one of those, 3 of these, 2, 3. There we go, assembly halo. Now I'm not sure how this... if we shift right click, we get a crafting grid. Now, if we don't shift right click, we get, a halo. Now there's ways of setting recipes so you can have shortcuts to them. And this crafting grid will work for the extra utilities unstable ingots, as will one of the storage enhanced inventories, the cabinets. Cabinets and the assembly halo is what you need for the unstable ingots when you get to that point in this pack. Anyway, going to check the time a little, and then we shall see what's going to go on next. Okay, we're almost done for the day, but one last Botania toy to show. The Alchemy Catalyst. So this thing goes underneath any of these mana pools. and it'll convert how the mana pool works. Now, many of the original recipes will continue to work, but now some new ones will appear. Not sure what that one is. Could try, but it wasn't what I had in mind. So, such as I can toss stone in and get, the special 1.8 stones. I can toss a fish in and get salmon. I can toss the rotten flesh in and get leather, and other such fun conversions. That is it for today. If you liked the episode, please leave a thumbs up. If you want to have more information on the server, please see the description below. And until next time, this is Easy Terry signing off. Bye.